Hello out there world, hello friends, Mongoose Magic Moments. I have very exciting news to share with everybody directly from the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve of the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project today. Of course, I'm watching the superstar, world famous CENERENTOLA species of yellow mongoose, the dominant female of the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose group right here. CUCCIOLINA TSEBOKOLODI. For those of you who have not yet added your name suggestions or the date of her birthing, time has run out because she gave birth this morning. Yesterday afternoon it was very overcast and windy with a bit of drizzle, and today she is here at the Meerkat Mansion Research Base, and she has definitely given birth, and I can see suckle marks. Maybe if she stands up, if we're very lucky, you'll be able to see that too, but she certainly has given birth. And I'm really happy to share this news with you because in the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the weather conditions, we may see her babies coming to visit as well, as they are old enough to leave the security of the sleeping area. I will not be filming them before that because I will not be providing the location or any information about where they are. That remains completely secret for their protection. However, when they are old enough to follow her, I'm hoping that she will bring them along, and we will do a live stream when that happy moment happens. Please do read the comments of the most recent questions about why I make these strange sounds. She has given birth now. I'm going to have to be teaching all of her newest generation of babies these sounds as well. She gave birth this morning. What happy news, all of our friends from around the world. Please do drop a like if you're happy to hear the news that she has given birth as well. Yeah, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Their gestation is 10.5 to 11 weeks, so almost 2.5 months of waiting. And the happiest news of all is that Gakulu, the dominant female of the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose group, has successfully survived giving birth. She herself was born in November 2018. And if you have a look now, we might be able to see her grooming herself. And then you will see her stomach. She has 2 suckle patches, wet patches of hair around her lowest inguinal mammae, which means she has at least 2 babies. The reason I know this is the babies suckle on exactly the same nipple every time, the same as with piglets. So by counting the number of wet patches of fur, you can actually get a very accurate idea of how many babies have been born. Yesterday it was a very overcast day. It was the perfect day for her to stay indoors in one of the wildlife hotels and then give birth. And this morning she has been grooming herself extensively. She has probably given birth overnight. So this news comes to you within a few hours of her babies being born. So it is a date to take note of, because in the next 2.5 to 3 weeks we should be seeing her babies. As they will be coming up, their eyes will open after about 7 or 8 days on average, the same as with meerkats. And depending on how hot it is, they could come up closer. That little mark that you just noticed a moment ago, there we go, was an SSMS, a send short message system as I call it, smallogram. Yeah. For those who have been watching her over the last few months, you will have noticed how much smaller and more slender she is. There we can see the nipples. There we go. Yeah. They've definitely been producing milk. You have to look very quickly. Meerkats have grey nipples, grey skin. Yellow mongoose has in fact got pink skin. It's quite deceptive. But because of the very dense hair, we don't often get to see that. But with her very enlarged nipples at the moment, with the babies been drinking, it is more obvious. Hopefully she will groom again or maybe even stand up. It's a very windy and overcast day, so she's not staying far away from the sleeping area and security. Because of course it's very dangerous. Many predators are active on a day such as this, where the thermals are huge and they can also hide against the cloud cover. So many predators will be active hunting mongoose and meerkats. It is not a good time for them to be out and about. Of course, they've got their own defense mechanisms, and one of these is the built-in equivalent of sunglasses. She's already been watching something in the distance which I cannot even see. Even using binoculars, it is difficult for most research biologists to notice what meerkats and mongooses see from many kilometers away. And they can identify what they are seeing because the sounds they make will let us know what they have in fact seen, even when we cannot find what they have seen. And eventually when we see them using high-powered binoculars, like 10-time magnifications, we still have a difficult time identifying whether that is a dangerous predator or simply a harmless bird species to them. She's definitely seen something off in the distance there. That long stare. I see the fiscal shrike is back. The butcher bird, Lanius calaris, the deceiver, the cry wolf bird as I call it, that's what she was looking at. That bird is an indicator species of potential danger in the area, but it abuses the trust of the neighborhood watch by also making fake alarms, as I've discussed in many previous videos. It basically makes an alarm when there is no danger, and the mongoose and meerkats that it follows around then get a fright and run away, leaving any food that they were digging up, and the bird will then take advantage of that deception. Hence why I call it the cry wolf bird. She's highly alert. That's why there's the bird flying down onto the ground briefly and then back up onto its perch. Quite commonly when it sees her, it will visit. TSEBOKOLODI. Although I mentioned her babies have been born today, we have not decided on their names yet. I will wait until we actually see them before finalizing the names. If you would like to add your name suggestions, thanks for the likes, I appreciate that. Please do add the names. It can be any name in any language. I will consider them, and you can add your name suggestions to any of our videos in the comments. It doesn't matter what the video topic is, I will check the comments. Thank you. It's a very exciting time. You can be part of the new legacy and history of the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose family. Again, this only happens about once a year. If we are lucky that we might see them having babies. And this time you will be along for the journey, I hope. Please do subscribe if you have not yet done so, to follow the real unedited wildlife documentaries. None of this nonsense of artificial intelligence, what I prefer to call it, artificial deception. I see so much out there, so many lies. And unfortunately, many of our youngest viewers don't know the difference yet between artificial intelligence and real wildlife. And that is why I encourage viewers to come join my live streams and ask questions directly. You can let me know where you are viewing from, and you can of course ask your questions. I am a professional nature conservationist. I have been qualified since 1993. So I have spent decades working on wild meerkats and mongooses, amongst other species. I have worked on banded mongoose, Mongoose Mongo, the most sociable mongoose in the world, living in groups of 60 plus. I have done that in Queen Elizabeth Park, Uganda, Central Africa on the equator. I've worked with chimpanzee in Uganda in Kibale rainforest, as well as a guest of the research biologist there. That is in 97. I spent 7 years in the Kalahari Desert working with Large Animal Research Group, LARG, Cambridge University, and the extremely famous and probably one of the most famous wildlife biologists in history, Professor Tim Clutton-Brock. A shout out to you, Tim. I hope you get this and share the happy news of TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose group giving birth. Of course, this is the most famous mongoose family. They have been in the social media since 2008, even in a BMW international film. Meerkats and mongooses were in that film that I did with them, BMW Unscripted. It was seen in the Super Bowl, watched by millions on the big screen back in 2010. The BMW Unscripted series, 5 short films by BMW of BMW owners. I had 2 BMWs back then used as reliable viewing vehicles for my guests. I've had thousands of guests visit and use these vehicles with me. Mobile hides, the Meerkat mobile as they used to call it, and the Mongoose mobile. And of course BMW chose those vehicles out of all of the BMWs in the entire African continent to represent BMW. Yeah, it's a serious bit of history there. So her mother was in that film, the mother who gave the group the name TSEBOKOLODI. So she was born CUCCIOLINA CENERENTOLA in this Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve back in November 2018. She managed to raise 1 baby successfully, Squeaky Scoiattolo. You can check out the playlist about him, also very famous. And this is her next generation. So she's done very well. And since then, she was in a terrible fight where she nearly died. Even now, the big scars on her face are visible where she lost her 2 lower canines, her incisors, and a big part of her lip. And that is why her tongue sometimes protrudes from the lower part of her mouth, because there's no lip there. So out of that terrible tragedy, and that is where she gets her Italian nickname Cenerentola, which is Cinderella, because out of the ashes and despair and what seemed like certain doom and despair, she emerged like a phoenix, triumphant. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. And here she is, and she's given birth to the next generation of TSEBOKOLODIs. I'm just having another scan around to see where these predators are. They can arrive very quickly. And back to our film star. She's magnificent. Look at those stunning eyes. Getting a beautiful view today of her eyes up close. The horizontally slitted pupils like that of a goat, not a vertical slitted pupil like that of a cat. That dark patch underneath her mouth is in fact where her lip was torn away. And that's a permanent scar there, of course. And she's been highly vigilant. Of course, this is an enormous part of the territory. You're only seeing a very small part of it. It extends for many kilometers. For those who have watched my other videos with her, you will have walked around the reserve here. You can, in fact, come out and visit. Although this is not a tourism project, it is for film crews like the BBC, National Geographic, Discovery, Richard Goss, Keir Downer, First Class South Africa, and others who have worked with me over the decades. However, I do take out select sponsors. So if you would like to be on that list of VIPs, check out the comments and how you can do that. A big shout out to all of our Associazione Suricati Italia members. We are having the meeting today, local time 7 o'clock. It's an international collaboration for conservation through Asia Chile, the president, and Alessia Torchini, who have both visited the reserve. They've come all the way from Italy. Alessia has visited here twice already and have helped to sponsor various wildlife hotels. We will be having that members association meeting this afternoon. There's one of the newest wildlife hotels. If you would like to sponsor these and actually come out and help build them, these are big subterranean structures that have been built for wildlife who have lost their homes. And it allows them to move into an area and recolonize it. Thank you so much for joining the stream with this very happy news today, my friends, of the dominant female Kakulu CUCCIOLINA right here, who is currently foraging. She is now looking for food in the area so she can produce milk for the newest generation of TSEBOKOLODI babies. Of course, it is incredible to be able to document so accurately when a wild yellow mongoose has given birth, and she would have given birth over the last few hours. Mongoose magic moments right here. Of course, there we go. Look, everybody. That's incredibly rare. Look at those two pink nipples and the suckle marks around the mammae. Yeah, that's very unusual to see her standing up like that and being able to get that. And I'm so happy that we got that, because you can see very clearly she is no longer pregnant, and yesterday late afternoon she was. So over yesterday late afternoon through to this morning early, she has given birth, and that's a fact. Now we wait to see when the next bit of information arrives, which is when her babies will in fact give birth themselves in the next few years. Excuse me. There's lots of dust in the air at the moment. We'll be following all of the generations of the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose as they arrive in the reserve. She's of course being very wary. You can see her tail puffed up slightly there because of the sudden and unpredictable movements of the vegetation. Thanks so much for the likes. I really appreciate it. And what happy news it is today. Please do drop your comments for the future generation of the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose babies. AISIBTH. Thank you so much for your comments. I don't have Google Translate with me right now, but I will be checking these later. If you would like to add your comment and name suggestions for the future generations of the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose, please do send them in, because the babies could be emerging for the first time and we may see them coming to visit over the next 2 weeks. So please keep an eye on their adventures. I will be giving you frequent updates as soon as I know any information. You will know. All right, there we go. Look at that, look at that, look at that. See those two mammae? There may even be 4 babies. I'm hoping there are 4. It is possible for them to have up to 6 babies, like with meerkats. It is very uncommon though. Oh, look who's come to visit, her friend, as I call it. The Karoo scrub robin. Yes. She's busy looking to see. That's part of the neighborhood watch. This is in fact the Aerial Alliance. They are a team. They are in fact a team. And there's the deceiver, the fiscal shrike. For those who've been watching the stream, you will know who this bird is, because it's now decided to get up close. Yeah, let's see where the scrub robin has gone. Maybe we will hear this bird alarming. Yeah, wait. It usually alarms when it sees her up close to try and steal her food. Let's wait and see. It's being very sneaky right now, but it's there. Wait. All right, I'm going to stand up slowly. Maybe I'll get a better view of the action there. Oh, yeah, that's nice to stand up. Oh, uncrumple my 6-foot frame. That's my view from their world famous shoes that the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose group have marked and the Ungulungu wild meerkats have marked. There we can see, yeah, the equivalent of a parasite. This bird is a real pest when it comes to mongoose and meerkats, because it will make fake alarms. Can you see it? black and white, known as the butcher bird, Lanius colaris. And it's not just here by chance. It is here because it wants to take food from the mongoose. I'm going to move away slightly. We might see an interaction here. The bird follows her around and is a constant nuisance to her, because whenever she finds food, it will make an alarm and try and trick her into believing there's danger. Even when there's no danger, it will make the sound, but she often will ignore it now, so she's also learning. But now with the babies that have just been born, what will happen is they won't know what this means when the alarm is false or true, and they will react. I see she's gone into one of the wildlife hotels. Just a very big, happy shout out of gratitude to Asia Chile, Corina, and Alessia Torchini, and our other members of Associazione Suricates Italia for the helping to sponsor our newest wildlife hotels. There you can see she's come out the other side. She went in there, went through the hotel sleeping area, and there she is. Let's see if we can follow her. The bird did not make its alarm yet, but the day is still young. There's another wildlife hotel that is still being built. She's probably going to be heading off to one of the secretive areas, which I will not show on film, where she has in fact given birth. So I'm ending the stream very soon. There we go. So she's headed off. She's come to visit and had a drink at the wildlife water feature here, which I make sure is always available to all the thirsty wildlife here. Thank you so much for joining the stream today, my friends. I'm so happy to share this news with you. The dominant female has given birth today. Until next time, have a beautiful day. Thank you for the likes and subs.